Oh. Oh, no. No. Hello, welcome to FiveFreakinFriends. It is Thursday, and we're talking about our subcultures and which ones we belong to. And I have to say, I agreed with Marcos's video a lot more than I expected to. You're not what you watch. Defining yourself by what you watch casually, and I do mean casually, binge watching is a casual thing. It's something you do over a weekend. These things are not subcultures. They're things you enjoy. I enjoy MASH, but I'm not going to call myself a Mashian. That being said, Doctor Who is a fun show, but I'm not a Whovian. Oh, this is kind of, a new thing on the internet, or new with the internet. The internet tells you if you like something, it defines you, and it's kind of weak, because I like a lot of things, and I don't feel that any of them really define who the heck I am. I like coffee, but that doesn't define who I am. But there are people out there who are defined by their love of coffee. They spend hours doing research on how to grow their own beans. They roast them at home. They grind them just perfectly. They learn to do the slow pull. They do the European press versus automatic machines. And a chunk of their life is consumed by this enjoyment of something. And that, I feel, is more along the lines of subculture, in which a part of your life is actually consumed by something. I'm the one who suggested we do Subculture Week, so obviously I must consider myself aligned to one. And at first I was like, obviously nerd subculture, but that means nothing. There is no real nerd subculture. What it is a bunch of people who like fantasy and or sci-fi and like using their computers call themselves nerds. Or anybody who's very enthusiastic about something calls themselves nerds. And that's really weird. People are like, oh man, I'm a total butterfly nerd. I don't know. It's really weird, when nerd became an adjective. So I don't really belong to nerd culture. I mean, I enjoy a lot of the things from the culture, I guess. I mean, I love Doctor Who when it's on. I watch it with my son, who's very enthusiastic about the things he watches, and so it's really easy to enjoy things with him around. I like Star Wars, but not to the extent of a lot of people. Zach, I'm talking about you, and Anthony, I'm talking about you. I like Star Trek, not a Trekkie. And cover your ears if you're very sensitive. I don't care about Firefly. I was recently told that my nerd card was going to be revoked until I watched some. And I was told I was going to love it, and I eagerly queued it up on Netflix and watched, I think, 2 or 3 episodes, and I was just like, oh my god, this is so boring. I already have Star Trek and Doctor Who. I don't need another one. I'm sure it has its merits. I love all those actors individually. So, anyways, enough subcultures I'm not. Subculture I am. I am into theater, specifically the audio part of theater. So, I guess you can call me an audiophile, but I wouldn't, because there's, real genuine audiophiles out there who are like, oh, well, what are the specs on your sound system? And I haven't had the time to do that kind of thing in years. But I do care about sounds, and I think a large part of any subculture is that it can have an effect on your day-to-day life. I'll mix a show for an entire day and look over at my phone at, quarter till midnight and realize that my husband's been trying to get a hold of me for an hour and a half. Whoops. That's more along the lines of subculture. I sit there and I swap stories with other audio mixers and talk to other audio directors about how they do their show, and we discuss problems with actors and how to properly keep everybody enthusiastic. What's the best way to schedule a release time? These are things I'm really concerned about, and I've spent weekends submitting my podcast to distributors and podcast feeds, just trying to get even, a couple more listeners. That's my subculture, and it's kind of a lonely one because it's usually behind a screen, but it's really the only one I belong to these days. I used to be punk, but I'm not going to go on about that because I'm already going to have to trim out several minutes of this video to make it short. So have a good week. Hope you have a nice Thursday. I'll see you next Thursday on FiveFreakinFriends.